Hello, my wonderful viewers. You are especially welcome to today's edition of our philosophy class. In today's class, we are going to look at one of the frequently asked questions in the Department of Philosophy among the philosophy students. And the answer they have been gotten from the lecturers and some advanced students of the department. The question is, where can graduates of philosophy work? And the answer that have been gotten from the lecturers and some of these advanced students is that philosophers can work anywhere. So lovely is the answer. And of course, it is correct. It is true that philosophy can make you work anywhere. A philosopher can get a job anywhere. I can say that authoritatively. But the sad experience that follows this beautiful answer is that upon graduation, so many philosophy students hardly get employed. What then is the reason? It is on this that this class is hold. But before I answer, let me reframe the question. We have to change the question to how can philosophers let the world to know that philosophers can actually work anywhere? It is from this question that the positive and practicable answer will be derived. The truth is that so many people don't know about philosophy, let alone knowing about who philosophers are. So it is difficult for you to employ the services of something that you don't know, of somebody that you don't know. So it is a place for philosophers to tell the world what philosophy is and who philosophers are. If you should engage, a philosopher should engage with friends in an argument or conversation, after some few minutes, the person may likely pause to ask, what course did you study? And if you tell the person that you study philosophy, he will likely say, no wonder. No wonder is a good one anyway. It may mean that in the course of your conversation, the person has studied the logical contents of your argument, the validity of your argument, the soundness of your reasoning that is beyond the normal way people talk. That is why the person asks, what did you study? Philosophers have been trained on how to reason well, on how to argue logically, on how to make valid and sound reasoning, on how to eliminate fallacies, errors in speeches and statements. So, we need to employ the services of philosophers. Every politician, the appointees, the elected officers, the president, from the president, the senators, the House of Rep members, governors, the ministers, commissioners, local government chairmen, they all need philosophers to work with. These are people who are so busy with so many responsibilities. They may be called at any time to make some formal presentation, conferences, seminars, and many other things. They need people with logical reasoning to put down something for them to present. Every company, every department, every governmental agencies, parastatal organization needs philosophers. Is there any department, is there any company that doesn't have philosophy? Every department, every company, every agency, every establishment has its own ethics and philosophy. Is it not absurd to have philosophy without having a philosopher? How will you be able to implement your philosophy perfectly, adequately, without a philosopher who have studied philosophy and know how to implement every kind of philosophical system or policy. You need philosophy. You need philosophers. The police force, the military, and other paramilitary, they all need philosophers. We don't even have enough philosophers in Nigeria. So they are not supposed to be looking for job. People supposed to, different agencies and departments supposed to be visiting school, philosophy department, to book them. Police, at times when I look at police carrying out an interrogation of suspects, investigation, it looks funny. Some of them will be beating suspects as if they are beating animals in the name of trying to get information and intelligence from them. No, that is not the way. Employ philosophers. These are people who have been trained on how to unravel truth. These are people who knows how to get the truth from anybody. They don't need to beat you. They only engage you on discussion. They discuss with you. They can even buy a drink. They sit down with you. They custody. They drink and be talking till you vomit all the truth you will not even know. They don't need to slap you to get the truth. They know how to gather their intelligence and information. They need to employ them in the military. They have to recruit philosophers. These are people that can gather intelligence. These are people that can know how to get information on how to deal with the bandits, the Boko Haram, the terrorists, militants, and what have you, criminals in the society. They know, they have been trained. If you want to perform well as a politician, you need to have philosophers around you. These are people that will help you to think. So many philosophers are there waiting for people to employ them, for them to display their talents. It is unfortunate that a lot of politicians actually want to perform well, to deliver, but they don't know how. That is why you need philosophers. How will you perform well? How will you function well if you don't have philosophers, people who have been trained to put down facts for you to go for your presentation? You need them. When you see some philosophers or some politicians say they were quoted out of context, they were misinterpreted, they misunderstood them. Some of those excuses is because they have not gotten philosophers that can put their presentation in a more logical and valid manner. Some of their presentations are filled with fallacies, errors. They will say they were quoting out of context. It is because you don't have philosophers that can help you put down your reasoning in a logical way. You need them. Some would think that, yes, they have lawyers, they have barristers working with them. What we should understand is that lawyers were trained on how to defend legal matters in the courts, whether it is true or false. They are there to defend you. But philosophers were trained to defend your ethical issues. And ethical issues is your everyday issues. So you need them every day. You can't go and make formal presentation without passing through a kind of philosophical scrutiny. You need to have philosophers. A company cannot move well. You cannot perform so well without having philosophers. Every manager needs philosophers. Directors, every department, customs, in your intelligence unit, you need philosophers. Immigration, you need philosophers. Correctional services, you need philosophers. All these formations need philosophers. These are people that can carry out thorough investigation. They are trained on investigation. Since their overall goal is to unravel truth, they will know how to bring out the truth in any of the investigation they carry out. You need to engage them. You need them in your company. If you want your company to move well, employ philosophers. Thank you so very much. Until I come your way next time, until then, do have a very wonderful day.